Real talk. There are two major categories of self-defense. One, a self-defense that is an offense. Two, a self-defense that is pure defense. Offensive defense includes boxing, jiu-jitsu, karate, wrestling, pepper spray, tear gas, tactical flashlights, stun guns, tasers, clubs, bats, hammers, hat pins, hatchets, knives, swords, handguns, carbines, rifles, and shotguns. Pure defense includes alarms, small noisy dogs, burglar bars, fences, gates, locks, motion detectors, secure doors, security cameras, security lights, standard flashlights, security walls, and avoiding obviously bad people, places, and situations. Some people advocate eliminating all forms of offensive defense. This is foolish, as no pacifist society in history ever succeeded. Others foolishly neglect pure defense by failing to keep everything consistently locked up or ignoring obvious danger. But my main point here is that many people overemphasize offensive defense. For example, movies often portray around 80% of self-defense as physically battling bad guys. Yet this would only be true if you were a soldier actively involved in war. For most people, self-defense, the percentage of taking purely defensive measures should be mad high, and they're incorporating offense percentage very low. And the purely defensive measures I mentioned are quite inadequate. I'll explain it a bit. Why people neglect purely defensive measures. One, many think that most others are good and so take little or no precautions. This is wrong-headed, since in fact most people would take advantage of you in one way or another if given an opportunity to. It's supposedly a free country and people don't want restrictions on their freedom. In extreme cases, some would rather live outside than seek refuge in a homeless shelter or other haven, since they would need to follow some rules. So predators have come along and, seeing the person asleep, stabbed them to death in the throat or crushed their head with a large hammer. 3, people think that if trouble comes, they'll be able to easily handle it. Overconfidence, silly machismo, or whatnot. Yet attackers are often tougher, more resilient, more heavily armed, more street smart, and have greater numbers. For example, some are on drugs so powerful that they feel no pain, or are 730 crazy or so desperate that they'll never back down. 4, people think they'll be able to defeat bad guys with no physical or legal consequences. This is rarely true. First, if the cops find that you got the better of someone, they'll often presume that you were the attacker, not the defender, and arrest you. Of course, the mooks will always claim that you attacked them and they were just defending, not the other way around. This can lead to you having to go through a lengthy trial and using up a year's worth of pay and lawyers' fees to get everything sorted out. And if the bad guys or their family or friends acquire your personal information, they might retaliate against you, your house, or family. And some weapons are illegal in certain jurisdictions. In summary, all purely defensive methods must precede all offenses if offensive defense. And defensive strategy should be aimed at precluding offensive methods. This isn't cowardice, it's wisdom. So to have ace security, besides using the elements of safety I mentioned, if they're available, consider the following. I got most of these ideas from David Porter's Exploring Behavioral Science YouTube channel. A, never commit a crime. B, never buy or sell street drugs. C, never associate with anyone who is involved in any illegal activity. D, never be alone in any isolated area. E, never travel alone. F, never open your house or apartment door for anyone at any time unless you know who it is. G, never get into a stranger's car and never allow a stranger into your car. H, especially before newly meeting anyone, have their personal info recorded, tell someone else where you're going and with whom, and tell that person you have their information recorded and that someone else knows where you're going and with whom. For those you know, still do it. I, never be out after 11 p.m. or before 6 a.m., not even just to the corner bodega for a pie or to just sit on your stoop. And if you must walk at night, never walk alone. J, shady deals. Never buy or sell anything unless you know it's from a store. Avoid stolen goods. And never deliver a private package for anyone unless you know what's in it. K, never borrow money from anyone. L, Never use an ATM machine or stand near one, and never flash lots of money. And keep hold of your wallet. M. Never wear jewelry or expensive items or be immodestly dressed. N. Never stare or glare at anyone or be rude to or insult someone. This includes not leering at women or making remarks or catcalls. Ornament. O. Don't associate with people that disrespect strangers or instigate trouble. P. Never be involved with someone else's wife, husband, boyfriend, or girlfriend. And never cheat on your significant other. Q. Never make any personal information public knowledge, including never mentioning that you have valuable items over social media, when you'll be on vacation and for how long, declaring that you live alone, or indicating that you're home alone over the telephone. R. Situational awareness. Always be aware of your surroundings in public. When outside, never be on a cell phone, texting, listening to music on an iPod, or reading a book or map. S. Never be drunk or drugged up in public. T. If something feels wrong, it's wrong. In any situation where you feel uncomfortable or in danger, you need to scram. If someone is provoking even an ambiguous threat response, get away. U. Never look like a victim or weak. Stand straight, don't slouch. Look confident, not nervous. Look at people directly when you speak. V. Know that predators might first be friendly and ingratiating in order to size their victims up, manipulate them, or play a game. W. Know that bad things can happen anywhere, whether you live in Gotham, on an isolated farm, or anywhere in between. X. Know what part of your city or town is problematic and avoid it. Y. Never go to any type of bar, nightclub, pawn shop, or gambling casino at any time, nor walk through their parking lot, even. Z. Replace all sketchy people and places with more wholesome situations, such as book clubs, chess clubs, church groups, libraries, museums, etc. If every means is exhausted, then do whatever you can offensively. There's also defense against white-collar crime and scammers, cybersecurity, and defense against emotional, psychological, and spiritual attack, but that's for another time and place.